Hi there and welcome to my website. Thank you so much for being here. My name's Louise Kresick and I provide coaching services for life beyond loss. So a little bit about me then. Well, when I was 25, I very suddenly and unexpectedly lost my mum overnight. It literally was overnight. She passed away. And then just a few months after that, my dad was then diagnosed with dementia. So his kind of journey through dementia and the illness lasted for about 7 years before I finally lost him completely. So a long period of time for me was spent in kind of, grief and pain. And I also lost one other thing that I didn't really expect. I lost myself in all of that, and needless to say, I was a bit of a mess. And after a period of kind of, walking around in this just zombie mode, just functioning and just doing what I could to survive, I had a little bit of a realisation. Some might call it a wake-up call, some might call it a light bulb moment, but I had this sudden realisation that I didn't want to spend the rest of my life in this way. I didn't want to just carry on surviving, and it really was down to me, and that I did have a choice in all of this. So despite what had happened, I couldn't control the circumstances around my loss, couldn't control the fact that my mum and dad had both now passed. But what I could control and would choose to control is how I would spend the rest of my life and what would happen next for me. So kind of part of my moving forward was really about, for me, creating a new normal for myself. I wasn't able to get back the normality that I once knew, because that was a different kind of part of my life. But I could create a new normal for myself. I could start reconnecting with myself and with a life, a new life, whatever that looked like for me. I could rebuild various aspects of my life, and I could also reclaim my right to thrive and, just take back some of my power in all of that. And I've experienced in my life other forms of loss as well. So I've, had relationships ending. I've also experienced job redundancy a couple of times, which is, some people don't think of as a loss, but it is a form of loss. And I'd lost, a very long-term kind of career a couple of times over that I'd invested a lot of time and energy in. So loss does show up in many different forms for us. And the thing about, all these different types of loss is that it does send us into a grief cycle, and very often we can get stuck in that cycle, which is definitely what happened to me. And I understand, that grief is an important part of the journey, and I do truly believe it's important to honour those feelings. But when we're ready to move forward, the question is, how do we do that? And I think that's where I kind of became stuck. So I understand with loss, if you're experiencing loss right now, or you've been through a loss, I guess that's why you're here, or maybe you know somebody that has. I understand that there's lots of emotional turmoil going on. I understand that, there's an emptiness often that is associated with loss, or a numbness. We can often go into that mode of just feeling very numb. And I get that adjusting to life beyond loss isn't always easy either. But what I also want to remind you is that it is totally possible. It's totally possible. And it can even be exciting. So once we've shifted, all of the fear, the uncertainty, any kind of guilt or shame sort of feelings, because those can come up as well. Once we've shifted all of that, we can really get into helping you to reconnect with your life. The other work that I also do, as I said at the beginning, is about helping people to rebuild aspects of their life. and then also reclaim your right to thrive, because I believe that we all have a right to thrive. We all have you know, but one life, so it's up to us to make the best of it, regardless of the difficult circumstances that we've traversed. So does this sound like you? Is this kind of familiar, I guess, is what I'm asking. Are you, you know, done with the whole surviving thing and just waking up and, you know, just going through the motions each day? Because if you are, then I'm so glad that you're here, and I would love you to head on over to my coaching services page and check out what's on offer. And I offer a free kind of no obligation chat or discovery call, if you want to call it that. So please do drop me a line and we can just talk about what your needs might be. Alright, so thank you so much for being here. Much love, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.